FIFA spent a fortune on tech that was supposed to end offside arguments for good. No give, no doubt. Just a clean line on the grass and a final answer no one could fight. Then came the first penalty of the World Cup, a Swiss kick that millions of people were sure should never have stood. And the exact moment that tech was needed, in front of the whole world, it went dark. The line never came. Hours later, FIFA put up a photo and asked everyone to trust it. After the week they had just had, good luck with that. Santa Clara, California, Saturday afternoon. Around 80 degrees, no shade anywhere, and nearly 68,000 people packed into the ground. FIFA now calls the San Francisco Bay Area Stadium home of the NFL's San Francisco 49ers. Qatar against Switzerland, Group B. And for about 15 minutes, this was a normal, kind of sleepy World Cup game. Then it wasn't. 17 minutes in, Switzerland win a penalty. The referee from Honduras, Said Martinez, points straight to the spot after Qatar's keeper, Mahmoud Abu Nada, comes flying off his line and crashes into Remo Freuler inside the box. Going by the hit alone, fair enough. The keeper flat out wiped him out. No one is arguing about the foul. Here is the problem: the replay. Because the moment ITV showed the buildup, you could see it. Freuler looked yards offside before that crash ever happened. Not close. Not get the lines out and squint and tilt your head. He looked clearly, plainly past the last defender. And the man calling the game said exactly that, live, with no doubt at all. Arsenal legend Lee Dixon called it the instant he saw the run. His arm went up. He said the word offside. He was so sure the penalty was about to be ruled out that he pretty much told the viewers to sit tight and wait for it. So everyone waited. Now you need to get what was supposed to happen next, because this is the whole point. The thing FIFA built for this exact moment is called semi-automated offside technology. You have seen the graphic 1,000 times. The frozen frame, two colored lines drop onto the grass, and the argument is over in 2 seconds. That is the whole reason it exists. It is the most expensive, trust me, in sports. And FIFA's own head of referees has spent years bragging that this system is so exact, there is no room for error in it at all. No wiggle room. The line is the line. They treat it as fact, not opinion. So the world sat there, waiting for the fact. It never came. And here is the thing a lot of people missed in the chaos. There were really 2 checks going on, not 1. The video refs looked at Embolo in the build-up first, and then at Freuler before he was knocked down. The call came back that neither of them was offside, onside, penalty stands. Breel Embolo stepped up, sent Abu Nada the wrong way, and Switzerland led 1-0. And still nothing. No line. Not on the American feed on Fox, not on the British feed, not in Spain. Nowhere on the planet did the people actually watching get to see the proof that was supposed to show this was right. By the time the final whistle went, fans had been shown nothing at all. So they did what football fans do when you tell them to trust you and then show them nothing. They lost it. On X, almost everyone agreed. German-speaking fans were calling it the worst call of the tournament so far and flat out saying it was offside. Others were calling it the first ref scandal of the World Cup. Thousands of people staring at the same frozen frames, totally sure of what they were looking at, and FIFA sitting on the one tool that could have shut every one of them up, choosing to show them nothing at all. Then the studio went off. Gary Neville did not hold back. He pointed out the thing that makes this so much worse than a normal bad call. FIFA is the one running the TV feed. They have the offside call from the system sitting right there in their hands. They could throw it on screen right away, and they chose not to. He said fans already don't trust FIFA and this tech, and until they prove it, in his eyes, it stays offside. And then he reached for the word that became the headline. He called it like a dictatorship. A group that keeps the proof to itself and won't show it to the very fans of the countries actually playing. Those were his real words, live on ITV. Ian Wright was just as blunt. He wanted to know why on earth we had not seen the system's line. He said the player looks offside, and he landed on one word: scandal. They do what they want, he said, sitting in their office. To be fair to FIFA, they did put someone up to explain the tech. FIFA-approved referee Christina Unkel went on ITV and walked through how the new system works. She made the point that this offside tech does not have any room for error in it the way the systems in the big club leagues do. So if it says onside, the system is treating that as spot on, right down to the arm or leg, which is a perfectly fine reason. It answers the how. It does nothing at all about the why. Why pay for tech this exact, and then refuse to show one single frame of it when the whole world is screaming for it? And if you think this is the first time FIFA's perfect tech has made people nervous, it isn't. At the last World Cup, the same system gave offside calls so tight that even FIFA's own pictures were almost impossible to make out. Lines drawn to a shoulder or an arm that left fans more confused than sure. That is exactly what Neville meant when he said they did this at the last tournament too. The doubt did not show up on Saturday. FIFA has been building it for years. If this is the kind of World Cup coverage you want, the kind that actually keeps count of everything going wrong, hit subscribe. I am breaking down every mess of this tournament as it lands. So that is the call. But what FIFA did next somehow managed to make all of it worse. Around 4.5 hours after the whole thing, FIFA finally put out a statement. 4.5 hours. The game was long over. The goal had been scored, the result had been set, the clips had already gone around the world 100 times. And the reason, of everything it could possibly have been, was a tech glitch. FIFA said a short tech outage had stopped the on-screen line graphic from being made before the penalty. They said the problem was fixed fast. They said the video review itself was never hurt and followed the normal steps. And they put up 2 pictures showing lines on the pitch, with Freuler and Embolo both looking onside. Read that back slowly, because it is really something. FIFA's official line is that the camera that shows you the proof broke. But trust us, the proof is real, and it says we were right all along. That is not being open. That is a note from FIFA, making excuses for FIFA, graded by FIFA, handed over 4.5 hours after anyone could do a single thing with it. The proof that could have shut this down completely in the moment it really mattered was missing at the exact second the world needed it, and then showed up once the damage was already done. On a normal week, maybe people give them the benefit of the doubt. But this was not a normal week. This was day 3. And to see why no one believed a word of it, you have to look at the pile FIFA had already stacked up before this even happened. Start with the tickets. Long before a ball was kicked, FIFA's prices had already pushed normal fans out of their own tournament, with prices that kept climbing, sending seats to numbers regular fans just could not reach. Then the empty seats, including this exact match. FIFA said the crowd was 67,966 in a stadium built for around 69,000. The cameras told a very different story. Thousands of empty seats you could plainly see all through the ground. And it came right after the same mess at South Korea against Czechia down in Guadalajara, where FIFA swore the number was right and explained the gaps by saying fans with tickets were standing in the hallways instead of sitting in their seats. Sure they were. Then it gets heavier, because this next part has nothing to do with football. The Trump team's travel ban, covering people from 39 countries, has been hanging over this whole tournament. There are special passes for players and staff. There are no special passes for fans. And then the people who got caught in it. A referee. FIFA's own hand-picked ref, Omar Artan of Somalia, one of 52 referees picked for this World Cup, flew into Miami to referee his first ever games at a World Cup. He was held and questioned at the airport for around 11 hours, then turned away, denied, sent back to Istanbul. He never blew a whistle, and it was not only him. Iraq's star striker, Ayman Hussein, and the Iraq team photographer were held and questioned by border officers for 7 hours at Chicago's O'Hare Airport before they were finally let through. Brick after brick after brick, all of it inside 72 hours, every single one building the same wall. A group asking for your trust while doing everything it possibly could to lose it. So when that offside line did not show up on Saturday, here is what did not happen in living rooms around the world. No one thought, harmless little tech outage, these things happen. After 3 days of this, the gut feeling was the exact opposite. People did not see a glitch, they saw a cover-up. And whether or not that is fair to FIFA in this one case is almost beside the point, because FIFA is the one that spent the whole week teaching its own viewers to expect the worst. Now, let me be fair for a second, because I am not here to pretend. It is fully possible the call was right. It is possible the tech really did fail, that the lines really did show Freuler onside by a hair, and that this was nothing more than rotten timing on a bad day for the graphics crew. All of that could be true. But that is exactly what turns this from a small side note into a nightmare. FIFA had one job in that moment. Show the line, end the argument, move on. They could not do it. And they had already burned every last bit of trust that would have let people give them the benefit of the doubt. When you have spent 3 days cast as the bad guy, you do not suddenly get to play the honest voice. And here is the part that really stings, because there was a great story sitting right under all of this noise. Switzerland were all over Qatar, 26 shots, more than 3 expected goals. Dan Ndoye carved them open inside the first 10 minutes. Michel Aebischer had one cleared off the goal line, and in the heat, with the pace slowing every time a water break came around, they kept wasting their chances. They should have been 3 or 4 goals up and coasting. Granit Xhaka said afterward that every draw feels like a loss, and his side were lazy enough to deserve exactly that. Because deep into added time, in the 94th minute, Qatar threw everyone forward. Captain Boualem Koki climbed at the back post, and the ball ended up in the Swiss net. FIFA later called it an own goal off Switzerland's Miro Muheim, but the meaning did not change one bit. 1-1. It was the 4th latest tying goal in normal time in World Cup history, and it meant far more than the score shows. Qatar lost all 3 of their games as hosts back in 2022, the first host country ever to crash out of a World Cup without a single point. This draw was their first point at a World Cup finals ever. Their players dropped to the grass like they had won the whole thing. A truly great underdog moment, and almost no one was talking about it. Because FIFA, once again, had stepped all over its own tournament. The football is delivering. The drama, the upsets, the new faces, it is all there. And on Saturday, with the whole world watching, FIFA buried the best moment of the day under a mess it made itself, with the one piece of proof that could have saved it sitting in an office, out of sight. Trust us, they said. The proof is real. We were right. 4.5 hours later, after the goal, after the result, after no one was listening anymore, the line never came, and 3 days in, not one person was surprised. So what do you think? An honest tech failure, or exactly the kind of trust us that FIFA has not earned? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. A like really helps this channel more than you would think. And subscribe if you want World Cup coverage that keeps count of everything going wrong, because at this rate, there is going to be a lot to count.